Self-help used to be a book you bought when things were really bad. Like, I lost my job, my marriage, and my dog doesn't respect me anymore. Bad. Now it's just something you scroll past while eating cereal at midnight, half listening to a guy in a hoodie explain how your life would be perfect if you just woke up at 5 a.m. and locked in. Somewhere along the way, self-improvement stopped being about improving and turned into crack for people who hate silence. Premium crack. Subscription-based crack, with captions, bullet points, and a calming piano track so you don't feel insane for needing it every 12 minutes. America didn't just normalize this, we industrialized it. We took basic human insecurity, put it in a vertical video, added a British accent or a deep-fake monk voice, and called it content. Now everyone's an expert. Everyone's a coach. Everyone's a former failure who magically fixed their life last Tuesday and is now qualified to guide yours. You can't even brush your teeth without someone telling you you're doing it wrong, inefficiently, and without intention. Apparently, even mint requires a mindset now. And the wild part is, it feels useful. That's the scam. This stuff feels productive in the same way rearranging apps on your phone feels productive. You're not changing anything, but your brain goes, nice, progress. You watch 10 videos about discipline, motivation, focus, purpose, dopamine, hustle, rest, grind, balance, stoicism, softness, masculinity, femininity, and somehow you end the day more confused, more tired, and still avoiding the one thing you were supposed to do. But hey, you learned 3 new words for procrastination, so that's growth. Americans love optimization because it lets us feel in control without actually committing to anything. We don't want results, we want the feeling of being on the path to results. That's why useful content is so addictive. It gives you a tiny hit of clarity, a fake sense of direction, and 0 responsibility. No risk, no failure. Just nodding along like, wow, that's so true, while doing absolutely nothing different with your life. It's emotional DoorDash. All the flavor, none of the cooking. And your brain eats it up because your brain is lazy and easily impressed. Your brain hears a confident voice say, most people don't realize this, and immediately goes, oh damn, we're most people, we're evolving. It doesn't care that you've heard the same idea rebranded 17 times. It doesn't care that tomorrow you'll forget it. It just wants the hit, the illusion of insight. The moment where you feel slightly superior to the version of yourself from 30 seconds ago. That's why this content never ends. It can't end. If it actually worked, the industry would collapse overnight. If one video truly fixed your focus, healed your trauma, clarified your purpose, and gave you discipline, there would be like 4 creators left on the internet, living quietly in Montana, raising chickens, never posting again. Instead, we get infinite variations of the same advice, sliced thinner and thinner until it fits into a 60-second clip with subtitles designed for people who refuse to turn sound on, but still want to feel educated. At some point, self-help stopped being guidance and became entertainment for anxious people who don't trust their own thoughts. Silence feels illegal now. The moment you're alone with your brain, it's like, quick, play something, anything. A podcast, a reel, a guy yelling about mindset. Because if you stop consuming, you might actually notice that you're exhausted, overwhelmed, and deeply avoiding your own life. And we can't have that. That would be uncomfortable. And Americans do not do uncomfortable unless there's a productivity angle. Here's the part nobody selling this stuff wants to admit. Most of what you need, you already know. Drink water, sleep, move your body. Do the hard thing before the easy distraction. Stop pretending you're researching when you're just scared to start. But that's boring. That doesn't feel like a breakthrough. There's no thumbnail for, yeah, you just have to do it and it's gonna suck for a while. So instead, we wrap the obvious in novelty and call it wisdom. And if this is hitting a little too close to home, good, that's the point. If you're the kind of person who notices when something feels off, when the internet starts sounding like the same voice in different costumes, you're probably gonna like what this channel does. So yeah, if you're still watching, this is a good moment to subscribe. Not because it'll fix your life, but at least we're honest about what's broken. The real damage isn't that this content is useless, it's that it trains your brain to confuse consumption with action. You feel busy, stimulated, informed, and on your journey, while real progress quietly starves. Your attention span shrinks, your tolerance for boredom disappears. Anything that doesn't give you immediate insight or validation feels pointless. Reading a book feels hard. Thinking feels hard. Starting feels impossible unless someone online tells you exactly how and reassures you every step of the way, like a motivational babysitter. So you keep scrolling. One more tip, one more framework, one more "this changed my life." And your brain keeps thinking the next video is the one that finally flips the switch, the one that makes everything click. But it never comes because the system isn't designed to complete you. It's designed to keep you slightly dissatisfied, slightly hopeful, and very, very engaged. Self-help didn't rot your brain because growth is bad. It rotted your brain because it turned growth into content instead of practice, insight instead of effort, vibes instead of responsibility. And the scariest part is how normal it feels now. This is just what Americans do. We don't sit with problems. We stream them. We monetize them. We brand them. Then we wonder why we're burnt out, unfocused, and secretly craving a cabin in the woods with no Wi-Fi and zero gurus. And look, you don't need to quit the internet, or move to the desert, or start journaling with a candle like a wounded Victorian poet. You just need to notice the pattern. Notice when useful content is helping you act versus when it's just helping you feel less guilty for not acting. That awareness alone already puts you ahead of most people doom-scrolling their way through another motivational montage. If you want more of this, not motivation, not fake clarity, just calling things out the way they actually feel, you know what to do. Subscribe, stick around, or don't. Either way, maybe close the app after this and do the one thing you've been preparing to do all day. That's the real self-help. Everything else is just premium crack with better lighting.